30 seconds.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I'll call this Thursday, May 15th, 2025 Finance meeting to order. At this point in time, I will yield the floor to Chairman Keller.
Thank you, Mayor. And good evening, everybody. Item 1 is an appropriation from the 2021 Economic Development Capital Fund carryover balance in the sum of $1,500 to fund the appraisal for the 1801 South Knoxville and 210 South Boulder Avenue properties. I move we send item 1 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Second. Any discussion on item 1? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Item 1 is forwarded. Item 2 is an appropriation from the Capital Asset Fund 04 and the Economic Development Capital Fund 27 in the sum of $798,250 to purchase 5 acres in the structure at 1801 South Knoxville Avenue.
I move that we forward this item to the full council with a recommendation for approval.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on item 2?
Yes, we have an appraisal on this, and it's came in at 865, I believe, is what the appraisal came in at. Kind of give you an idea of what is the sale of the assets is the sale of the Central Fire Station to Point Remove. They're buying out their contract. We have a sale date of May 20th, and then so then all these funds will transfer into Fund 4, which we will purchase that product out of. The reserves is a 3% contingency to cover any closing cost. I don't think that will be anywhere near that, so I don't think you'll spend that, but that's what Finance Director Baker has put in there so to cover us, but and then we'll go, that explains that the best I can. But yeah, we did get an appraisal to cover that. So
Can you describe to the public the reason for purchasing this property?
oh gosh, okay. There's how much time we got? No, this is a 5-acre parcel that adjoins Hickey Park, which is already a city park. It is a 20,000 foot warehouse that will actually allow our Parks and Recreation Department to pull tractors in and actually work on them themselves instead of outsourcing some of the maintenance that we have to do on a daily basis right now. Our Parks and Recs teams have to drive across town, which is probably about 2 miles away, drop a trailer, and then drive about 2 miles across town to park a truck. And then in the morning, they pick up that truck and they drive back to pick up that trailer. So we'll be able to actually have everything in one facility, and it actually adjoins Hickey Park. So it was really, we had been looking for a building, and then this one just happened to come up. It's really amazing that it's coming up. So it's a great asset for us, and we're super excited. I know our Recreation and Parks teams are just excited, and it'll give us a lot of indoor storage. The facility is, we've had our team look over it. The facility looks good. The air conditioning units have gone through. And so it'll also give us some climate controlled storage for different departments within the city if we need some climate controlled storage.
Any further discussion on item 2? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding this item to the full council with a recommendation of approval say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 2 is forwarded. Item 3 is consideration of a resolution expressing the intent of the City of Russellville, Arkansas to collaborate with the Russellville Sister City Foundation. I move that we forward item 1 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Any discussion on item 3?
Is this a sister city program that we did with Paris?
I'm sorry?
Is this the same deal we did with like some French city?
We
There-
tried.
It started with that. What they've done now is they've formed a 501c3 foundation, and they're going to start, but it does not does not compel us to do any funds or anything. They're just going to try to establish a partnership, and also by being a sister city doesn't mean we're actually in a sister city program. That starts other stuff, but their foundation is going to have to fund that, or come to the city and if we decide to partner with them in some way, we can.
Moudon, France did not follow through.
Yeah,
Is-
this is
Moudon
gonna
did
be in
not. They were the
Belgium.
ones, they did not follow through. So Philippe Van Hoot has really worked. Who was the second on that motion? Ms. Palladino's asking. Okay,
yeah,
Mr. George.
Mr.
Mr. George was the second. Okay, thank you.
Is there any other discussion on item 3? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Item 3 is forwarded to the full council. Item 4 is discussion and appropriation of a resolution regarding the service request from Cards for the enhancement of the billing software at City Corp. Entertain a motion for informal discussion.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor for informal discussion? All right, let's do it. Okay, so do we have someone from City Corp here? Okay, we got Mr. Mount. So can you help me understand, this is, the way I understood it when we talked about this last week was this was something that we needed to do that was a shortfall in the City Corp, or a shortcoming in the City Corp's ability to run a specific report per the contract, but then in reading some emails, this isn't the case. Is that correct?
Essentially, in our opinion, that's correct. I don't know, is anybody from Cards here?
Do not see anyone.
Okay, so here's our side, since they're not here. But now, we're not 100% sure. Long story short, I'm going to recommend that we table it until we talk to them, because we bill, all of their accounts are part of our database that has all of our water, sewer, and trash is all in one software. It's Origin software. It bills out of that software. All the changes are made. Anytime somebody gets a new connection, the trash goes right along with it. So we build accordingly. They have a portal to go in and make changes. So if they want to replace a carton and it's a $5 charge, that will happen in our portal. They have access to it, and it will bill accordingly. So what we do is we collect the bills, and then we submit the amount collected to them that we receive. They invoice us for all of it. Like, well, we have 7,000 accounts, and it should be this amount of money. That's fine. We collected on 6,982 accounts. Here's the money from the other 18 accounts. You know, that we'll try to collect for you, but we're not going to cover your debt. I mean, we're going to give you what we collect, and if we collect it, we'll send it to you later. So there's a little bit, we don't send them a total listing of the accounts. So my understanding was they asked for a detailed summary listing of all of the accounts, what was billed, what wasn't billed, who's got what cart, which I can understand why they would need that for their purposes, so that they would know the full listing of accounts, not just the ones we collected from. So I was in general support to say I can see why they need that, because we don't need that report, but I can see why they would. I have since heard from Jeremy that he talked to someone from Cards, and they were planning on using that to populate their software and for billing or maybe service-oriented jobs and move things around. And that is extremely confusing to us, because now you have two different softwares that aren't tied together. So I don't know if they planned on making changes and submitting it back to us, thinking we could backfill and tie in. But if that's what they're wanting to do with it, that is absolutely no-go and won't work, because we have one software, and if they want to pay Origin to tie their software to Origin, I think that should be on them, because we provide that service, we provide the access to it, and training and the ability to go in and do what they need to do. If they want to do it a different way, in my opinion, that's fine, but they need to work out how that's tied together. We're not going to maintain two separate softwares for trash and for water and sewer. So there's some confusion, and that may not at all be what they're asking for. It may be what I originally said, which in my opinion is not out of the question for something reasonable that they would want. But if they're going to use it for anything other than just their information, so they can know the difference between billed and received and write off the difference, or I could see why they would want that. But I think we need to clear that up before you, because last thing I want to do is approve this, you pay for it, and they're like, oh, well, we can't use it for what we wanted to. It's a waste of money. So That's what I would suggest, and I don't know how critical it is to them as far as timing, but I think she even suggested to Jeremy that we might all need to get together next week and work this out and bring something back that at least we're all on the same page with. So I apologize we weren't, but we're kind of a third-party building, and if they need something, then that's somewhat between you folks, but I know you rely on us to tell you whether it's necessary or not. So we will do that next week. If y'all want to table it, then we'll just deal with them and find out exactly what they need.
Motion to table till that discussion can be had between the two parties.
All right, we've got a motion to table and a second. Or any other discussion? All those in favor of tabling item 4, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Item 4 is tabled. Thank you, Mr. Mallett. Item 5 is a consideration of a reimbursement request for the first quarter expenses for Main Street, Russellville, in the amount of $15,000. Move that we send item 5 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on item 5? All those in favor, say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Item 5 is forwarded. Mayor, yield the floor back to you.
Thank you. We will adjourn and we will reconvene at 6 p.m. for full council meeting.